Hello, my name is Alauna and welcome to day 23 of 28 days of self-love yoga. If you've missed the first part of this challenge, I will have the whole playlist linked in the cards here and at the end of this video, but today's video is a grounding, forward folding type of hatha yoga flow. So it's a very slow hatha style, I would say, and we're going to be focusing on, not turning externally, but folding forward and turning inward throughout this whole practice. And just, again, as I always say, maintaining a connection to your breath. So let's go ahead and begin. Do we need any props? At the end, you might need 2 blocks. So have that or a long, firm, big pillow if you don't have yoga blocks. So we're going to begin with the legs stretched out long on your mat, removing the flesh from underneath your seat, pulling the toes back towards the face. Reach the arms up and overhead, and exhale, passively fold, resting your hands on your shins, but keeping the chest lifted and just folding through the lower spine. Making sure that you can still take a deep breath in, then exhale out, beginning to connect to your breath. Beginning to internally repeat, I am whole just as I am. I am whole just as I am. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And breathing into the lower back. On your next inhale, press into the fingertips and roll up into a seat. And bend into the right knee. Now you can either bring the right sole of foot to the right inner thigh, or cross the right knee and stack it on top of the left, whichever is most comfortable in your body. Either way, inhale to reach the arms up and overhead, and exhale to passively fold forward, allowing the hands to rest on either side of the calf. And again, keeping the chin lifted, stretching through the lower back, maintaining deep inhales and exhales as you internally repeat, I am whole just as I am. Inhale to press into the fingertips, walk back up and lift the right knee, but keep the right foot across the right thigh, coming into a twist. Reach the arms up and overhead. And the exhale, twist to the right, hooking the left elbow on the right knee, keeping the hips rooted and grounded, facing forward, and twisting through the upper body. Exhale to release. And bring the right sole of foot to the inner thigh. Then instead of folding over the extended leg, we're going to face in between both legs and walk the hands forward, keeping both sits bones rooted down onto the floor, even if that means you can't walk your hands out very far. And again, make sure that you're not collapsing in on your lungs, and you're still able to take a deep inhale in and exhale out in this forward fold. Inhale, walk the hands back in and extend your right leg. Oh, this isn't going to be in camera frame. Extend your right leg out to the side, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Again, making sure to still sit up nice and tall, maybe tucking a blanket or a block underneath your seat to tilt the pelvis forward. This is a hard pose even for me. Inhale to reach the arms up and overhead to find length through the spine before folding forward, resting the hands down in front of you. Again, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, chin lifted, and breathing deeply. Walk the hands back in and draw the right leg back through center. Recenter your hips and switch sides. So either bring your left sole of foot to the left inner thigh or cross the left knee on top of the right. And inhale, arms up and overhead to sit up nice and tall through the spine before folding forward. Being mindful of your body and placing it so that you can still take deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Maintaining length out through the top or the crown of your head. Inhale, press into the fingertips and walk back in. And lift the left knee up, placing the left sole of foot on the outside of the right leg. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. And exhale, twist to the left. Hook the right elbow onto the left knee and open the chest towards the left. Exhale to slowly release. Bring the left sole of foot to the right inner thigh. And again, facing between the legs, walk the hands out in front of you. Half butterfly forward fold. Inhale to press into the fingertips and come back up. And again, take the left leg, extend it out, coming into wide-legged forward fold a second time. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead to sit up tall before folding at the hips, releasing the hands down to the mat in front of you. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. And breathing deeply into the hips here. Finding some release. Slowly walk the hands back in and bring the legs to close. Bend into the knees and cross at the ankles, coming into all fours. From here, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog, just as a transition to slowly walk the feet to the top of your mat and forward fold. Inhale, slowly roll up to standing, placing your arms at your sides, and turn to face the long edge of your mat, stepping the feet wide on your mat, about one leg's distance in between. Angling the toes in, heels out, and engaging through the pelvic floor, the lower abs. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead to lengthen, and exhale, hinge at the hips. Release the hands down to the mat, wide-legged forward fold. Grounding down into the earth and your mat through the soles of your feet and your hands. Taking deep breaths in through the nose and maybe sighing out the mouth. Allowing the neck to release here. Maybe walking the hands back behind you, pulling yourself down even farther, but not necessary. Whatever you do, just enjoy this stretch. On an inhale, bring your hands to your hips and hinge back to standing. And heel toe your feet together. And come to standing at the top of your mat. Step your feet out wide on your mat, angling the toes forward. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Now you can either take your two peace fingers and hook them on your two big toes. Inhale to lift the chest, and exhale, bend into the elbows to forward fold. Or you can tuck your fingers underneath the soles of your feet to really ground feet into yourself. Being fully connected. Maybe swaying the hips from side to side a little bit. Noticing what you feel. And internally repeat, I am whole as I am. I am whole just as I am. Release the grip on your feet. Angle the toes out, heels in. And slowly lower the hips down. This is where one of your blocks might come in handy. If you need to come to a seat on the block, aligning it underneath your sits bones. This is tricky to do. There it is. Pressing your elbows into your knees. Bringing hands through heart center, really opening through the hips here. Grounding down through your root. Through the soles of the feet. And pressing the hands energetically together at heart center. Lifting the chest. Releasing the shoulders away from the ears. And slowly release the hands back behind you. Take the block out from underneath you. And lower down into a seat. Bring the soles of feet to touch. You can place the feet a little bit away from the pelvis. Inhale to sit up nice and tall. And exhale, interlace the hands in front of the toes. Bring the elbows on the outside edges of the shins. And draw the torso down. Again, prioritizing length through the crown of the head instead of folding forward. Taking deep breaths here. Internally repeating, I am whole just as I am. Connecting your fingers to your toes. Maybe the forehead to the feet. Rooting down through the sits bones. Take 5 more deep breaths in this final forward fold. On your next inhale, slowly press into the hands and come back up. Bring the knees to close, and this is where you'll need your 2 blocks. Coming into fish pose to open up after such a grounding, folding practice. Align the blocks like a T at the top of your spine, and then allow the spine to roll down onto the first block, placing the base of the block where a bra strap would be, and then aligning the second block underneath the head, wherever's most comfortable, finding a position that feels good in your body. If you don't have blocks, you can always just move into a legs up the wall. It's a different stretch, but it's also a very yummy way to end your practice. So just find a pose that's comfortable for you. Whatever pose you choose, just allow your body to fully relax into it, not holding on to anything, releasing all of the tension that might still be left over. And coming back to your breath. If you were in fish pose, slowly press into the elbows to lift the head up, and then lift the back up and remove the blocks. Moving from wherever you were into Shavasana, allowing the legs to stretch out long on your mat, resting the arms at your sides, and taking a few moments of stillness to end our practice. Continuing to internally repeat, I am whole just as I am. I am whole just as I am. On your next inhale, bring some movement back to the wrists and the ankles before bending into both knees and rolling over onto one side. Keeping the eyes closed and pressing up into a seat. Gently placing the hands on the knees or bringing hands through heart center. And taking 3 final grounding breaths together, inhaling through the nose and exhaling to sigh out the mouth in 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining me for today's class. A little bit slower, more peaceful than the last class. And I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as check out my live Zoom class schedule linked down in the description, because I will have slow Hatha style classes on there as well. So not just fast vinyasa classes, but also some slow, juicy, yummy things. So if you're interested, check it out. Thanks for being here, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, guys.